Enrolling in the Academy is really simple. You'll just go to our website, wblinc.org/academy. And when you get here, you'll see our main page and you can click enroll and it'll take you to this form where you're just gonna fill this out. It'll take you about 5 minutes. Once you submit this, you're enrolled in the Academy and you'll receive an email from me so you can pick the classes you'd like to take and join our Academy family. So we're an after-school program rooted in hip hop. So we have a bunch of classes that you may find interesting. You can go right to our website and go to our classes tab and you'll see some of them, from performing arts like hip hop theater, spoken word, hip hop dance, some of our business classes that are like a boss and walk it like I talk it, which would be more arts management and entrepreneur based. And then we also have things like our music classes, MCing and rapping and beat production and DJing. You can go to wblinc.org/academy to enroll.
What's going on, world? It's yours truly, Mazi Mutafa, here for the second interview of the day, here for Alternative Winter Break. This is the third year we're doing this. It's something that we started doing during COVID. And the whole idea was we do an alternative spring break where we take young people to visit creative businesses throughout Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Maryland, Arlington, Virginia, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and New York City. And those are all trips around mostly the performing arts. And so we wanted to create an alternative winter break that's mostly around the media arts. And so this is my second interview for today. I had 2 interviews yesterday as well, one with a filmmaker and one with a photographer. We got lots of photographers in the DMV. And so this is my third interview with a photographer. Brother Hamza.
Hello, hello.
How goes it?
It's going well. How's it going with you?
Thank you so much for making time for this interview. I wanted to just go ahead and read a little bit about you. So for folks that are not familiar with Hamza, you are you're working on crafting a concise self-presentation as a filmmaker, photographer, creative director, and dancer. That's a really interesting set of skills to be able to bring together. And I'd love to know which of those things came first. Was it photography, or was it dance, or was there some other form of art that you began to practice that got your creative juices flowing to be able to start to carve the path you're currently on?
All right. Well, first, thank you for having me, and appreciate all the work that WBL is doing for DC and for the whole community, like for the whole DMV and also in nationwide. And I will start with, it's all started with dancing. Like first I tried to learn like how to move my body, and it started with breaking. And then like I got to become in a crew and stuff. And then like in the crew, there are other creatives. Like one of them was like a photographer. The other one was a filmmaker. And we were all the time, like, besides like practicing and doing stuff, like we're getting down and getting creative. Like they have the ideas, we got the moves, and we just get down and start creating. And that was it. But like that whole time I was just like in front of the camera. I was never like behind it or interested even to know like, okay, how y'all doing it? But like the way how they doing it and the way how much they loved it, it just got me interested at the end of it, being like, okay, I think I want to know more about it. Because like the result we get, it's always interesting. Like the dance in itself, it's really cool, but like when it's captured by the eye of a dancer, it's even, I can say it's a way cooler because they understand the movements and everything. So that interests me a lot for just like something to have fun with. And along the year, like it was just like on my phone, something that I would just take pictures around or take videos and then post them just like to keep memories. Because that's something also like my dad used to do a lot. So like I kind of like inherited that from him. And then all of a sudden with dancing, it started to get more creative, and like it's like the worlds, like when you combine them, there's just like unlimited like amount of creativity that can be like made and can be like seen. So it was really fun, and it was like really enjoyable. Like when I moved to the US in 2020, like it was really not much going on, like especially for me as a dancer. So it was a perfect time to give some time to like the other craft and like start creating more. And it started there. Like I couldn't stop once I started like creating as a filmmaker, photographer. It started with myself, and then other artists. It was a tool also to meet other artists around the DMV. Like for me, like being new here and getting to know the area, it was the best thing to do is to collaborate and work with other artists and get to know the city well from the bottom heart of it.
You know, it's really interesting how many artists I've had the opportunity to talk to who the COVID pause was an opportunity for them to move in a different direction.
Yeah.
So when you think about the absence of jams because people weren't out socially, how did you begin the process or continue the process to learn more about photography and then move into videography?
Well, to be honest, it's that like it started with like as I told you, like it started with myself and like just trying to like get like how I can capture the best, like I don't know, the best movements and how I can be real like to like my art in a way that like I can present it how I want it. And like that was like through learning the basic. And like the basic, it started with like, okay, videography, because that's what I was like most into. And then I was like, no, but like if I really want to understand like the base of it, like I want to understand like how composition of image work and how like you want to like deliver like your ideas and messages or whatever you have, like how I can translate them into images. And that like got me back to photography. And then I start to love it more because like it's way expressive way without like any movements. And when you add that and when you understand that and add it to your like filmmaking or videography, it just becomes like a whole bunch of like languages that you have that like all like flow together and like work in translating like what you want to like deliver as either how you feel or what you want to like share as ideas or want to share as like you're just creative stuff that you have fun with. So it's like becomes an important tool to just like learn the basic of each element and dive in like really well into it and just being comfortable with like the foundation because they're really important. And once, because like to be honest, like what made me understand that is dancing, going back to dancing. It's like how in hip hop, like how we, because like back home we practice on the street. So like you gotta like get along with the community and they gotta like you and all that, and then they're gonna share all the knowledge with you. And by liking you, just like that means you don't bring any trouble because they want to keep a safe space because it's already like outside, not protected and all that. So getting to know like, you know, hip hop and know like breaking randomly like that and people giving you a little basics, and then from like that chaos and everything, and then you learning few basic and then you turn it to like a whole like beautiful piece that like people be wondering like how you got in here, but like you only know that it's only just like foundation and like your little ideas like add into that foundation and it gives you that. So like the idea of how I used to practice and how I learned about like breaking, it just made me see life differently. Like how whatever I'm like approaching to, I approach it like with that idea of, you know what, learn like the basic fundamentals that like looks boring, that like, you know, like you're not like gonna enjoy, but at the end of the day it become a tool for you to just like speak because like it helps you like be more clear. Like it's like a language. When you master a language, you can speak your feelings with that language even if it's not your like native tongue or whatever. So like that's kind of like what I learned like from breaking and all what it gave me. And then it turned to, yeah, like all that basic and focusing on photography and then applying what like how I see or how I want images to be like in the photography, and then like move it to filmmaking. And filmmaking start from that basic of, I want my scene to be like first like meaningful. Like I don't want just a shot of like a shot. I want a shot to represent like what I want. Like I want it wide and I want it like this element in it and I want this element in it. And when you start thinking like this, then like you're speaking so loud, like your ideas are like so out there and like your art is like well heard. And yeah, that's something I'm grateful for, to be honest. And I will be so much thankful for hip hop and breaking for that. Yep.
I wonder, is one of the things you enjoy photographing the most dance because you are a dancer?
Uh, can you say it again?
Yeah, I'm asking. So, like, like I'm thinking about other artists that I know who because they practice a particular form. I'm thinking about someone like a DJ Flag, who's
Mm-hmm.
also a breaker. So he
Yeah.
knows what dancers like. So because you're a dancer, do you think that that makes you a better photographer of dance?
Definitely, definitely. Like when you're a photographer, first, like you know exactly like how like people. I don't know. Like when I'm watching somebody dance, I don't watch them just like from the outside. Like as a dancer, you see also from the inside because you know when they're gonna hit on the beat, when you're gonna hit down on the eight, or when they're gonna like like there's like a beat that they're gonna like hit like really soon. You just like connected with them when like a different one. Like I'm not like just waiting for like the perfect stop. Like sometimes I know that the perfect stop will come with the beat because like they're dancing on the beat. So that's something easy for me that like I don't know, like when I'm watching, that's how I watch. I watch you and I'm expecting you to stop on this, move on this, freeze on that. I don't know, be fluid in this. I don't know. When you slow down, I expect you to like it's just like a way to read a dancer. And I think only a dancer can do that because of the familiarity with like how many style we watch and how many things we do and how many like competition also like we get into. So like it's just like variety of things that makes you just understand the dancer better. And more than that, you know also like what a dancer would like to see or would like to have in a shop, like kind of that stuff. Because like when I'm like working with dancers, I don't know, it's always so easy because like we're literally just like hanging out and talking, and then all of a sudden we're dancing, and there's no like that like I don't know, like it doesn't even feel like we're doing something. It's just so fluent that like we're still dancing. Like there's no camera involved sometimes. Like you feel that like there's nothing, and that like element is really important to blend in whatever you do. So like for me, like that combination between dancing and like photography or filmmaking was like a key for me to just like unleash my creativity, because like it lay between the two, because like I enjoy like creating like great images and like great scenes and stuff, but I also love movements and music and how you like shape music and dance to it and make it really cool. So the two worlds are like for me are like really important.
So can you talk to us a little bit about what does it mean to be a creative director?
Yeah, all right. So for me, a creative director is like starting like, let's say like for me, like I've been a creative director for myself like for so long, or like for my crews. So like when we get down, like you have an idea from A to B or like to Z, and then like you work on it like step by step, and regarding like how you want it, like what's the theme is going to be like, what it's going to like, and then like what's the image are going to be like, what's the composition is going to be like, and then like what's first what that message you're delivering and how we're gonna deliver it, are like all those things gonna represent something. So like the idea is to be like very caring with your craft and like what you're creating and what you see. And especially like when you come to a creative director, you come into their vision, and like in a way like that vision for me, it's kind of like I still always like feel it's for myself, and I'm still like building that. And the thing is like people are coming for it still, like even for me it's like still in the building, people liking your idea, telling you like, well, I like what you did with this, I would love to see it in this, and I would love to see how it will work with this. And sometimes it's whole different thing where people come with their ideas and they want to see what you would do with them. And that has been really interesting for me, because like all day I'm dreaming, all day I'm thinking of ideas and how this could look and how this could look. And I will just like be lost in just like, I don't know, like filming something that like maybe look very basic, but to me it's just seems like something that like, it could be like it's really everything. Nothing is simple, everything is meaningful, and everything is something. It's just like how you see it and how you shape it and how you present it to the world. So once you have that vision, then like you have that creative eye, or that like creative directing eye. So to me, like I'm really enjoying it. And as I told you, like I'm still working and shaping my vision for now. And hopefully soon it will be all like there and complete the world to enjoy and like hop on it and create with more ideas of theirs.
I'm curious, are there either photographers or filmmakers whose work inspires you or inspired you to want to move into photography and film?
Yes, it was actually going back again, a dancer. His name is Daniel Cloud Campos, I think. Yeah, Daniel Cloud. He was like a really known dancer. Uh, he won like so many battles. He was like a breaker, and then he moved. Like, well, actually, he didn't move like completely like to filmmaking and stuff, but he was making films for himself. And then, like as I told you, like the same idea. Like he became like his vision and his way of doing things became like his brand, like himself and his creative style. So people would go to him, and I feel like he went too far from dancing, that now he's busy with that, just like creating for other people. Or I think he's also like doing music, which is really cool. So for me, it's just like seeing these type of artists that like don't feel like rocks in a way, that like they need to, like if they're in one shape they gotta stay in that shape forever, which is in some like ways, if that speaks to you, that's great. But like I don't know, for most artists I feel like you gotta be open and you gotta be like seeing like, you know, your possibilities and what you can do. If you have it in you, if you have like, if you see that like your creativity is unstoppable, or like everybody's, to be honest, creativity can be unstoppable, it's just how you see things again. Or if that doesn't exhaust you, because truly it is exhausting. But like for me, it's how my just brain work. I dream all day, so like I would love to make those dreams come true. So I don't know how about everybody's brain work, but like for me it's fun to just create and just like make life fun by like imitating it and boxing it and keeping it forever. So yeah, like that, like him was like one big one big mark in my like move into cinematography and photography too.
I'm curious, how long did it take you to go from photographing and filming yourself to people hiring you for your to implement your dreams?
Uh, well, to be honest, it took 1 year. 1 year when I start like to be serious about it, because like it was, as I told you, it was just on my phone. I was like not like that interested in making it actually a thing that I will like follow, because like I was all about performing and battling with my crew and giving classes and stuff. So it was like fully a dancer in a way. So once I, as I told you, I moved here with the camp with COVID and stuff. I was like, you know what? Why not investing in a camera? And I can't do anything as a dancer. I can't teach classes. I can't work anything. So at least with the camera, like I may make it work and I might make like something out of it. Because first, like I will enjoy making stuff for myself, but later on, like I want to also like make it like a life, like make it like a source of like income for like whatever. So like I bought the camera, I bought the equipment, I start making stuff for myself and for the community around me, like which is started with my crew, Inhumans crew. And then like I started making videos. I think we made two official videos that were like ideas planned from like beginning to end and with lighting and everything. And then like I go to a couple events and like I start like taking pictures and like just filming it. And that was for sure like not like just to have content or anything, but like for mostly I was just like practicing my craft, because like I know that like I can do it and I've been doing it always, and I'm like tried so many times, but like I was never serious about it. But this time, let me see it differently and let me take the whole thing like in a different way. And yeah, like I start going to events, taking like shooting videos, literally just for fun, for the fun of myself. I go work and I get back, sit on the computer, edit the video the whole night, and go back, do the same thing the next day. And that like that work for myself, it became a fruit that like people enjoyed, and then start inviting me to like capture like images like in their events, or like videos, or like make things out of like their events, or like dancers to seeing me like making work for myself, and then being like, well, you know what, why not like come work with me on this, on that, like I have this idea. And then like other artists, as I told you, like it's been just like collaborating with them to just get to know them, and just to get to know the scene too. So it was like a great way to just like work on my skills and my craft and stuff, and like seeing people like enjoying it, that was like the best. And then that didn't take so much, and I feel like I didn't get there yet. Like I didn't, my vision it's not there yet, but like I do enjoy that like all the people are having fun in the process with me, and that makes it really amazing.
Hamza, I'm curious, what kind of investments have you made in equipment? So cameras or lighting? What kind of
Yeah.
investments have you made in equipment?
Well, I started with just like a camera and one lens, and now I have a camera with like 5 lenses that like do enough for me. I mean, I still need to have more, but like do enough for me. And I have like a friend of mine who also like have been appreciating him so much. He left just his camera to me, so I have 2 cameras. And I have like flashlights, like 2 flashlights and stuff that like I been getting really creative with recently, and I love the process of like learning light and using all that. And I have like couple like few lights for like my video making and stuff. Nothing that big to be honest, because like everything I do is for like just artists, like like small project, nothing that like big that will make me go for like I don't know crazy equipment. So like I'm keeping it really tight, and it's been 3 years that like every 6 months I buy one single object, or like I don't know, I keep on the hunt in thrift stores if I find something that would like I don't know work instead of something that like I would buy new and stuff. So it's been a fun like experience to be honest. And I don't have all the equipment, but I feel like I have everything, because like everything that I want to create is like I like made sure that like I have the things I need for it. So I'm really grateful. And like a desktop that I just bought recently. That
How
helps me
did
a little too.
it sounds like part of what you do is also use used equipment. How do you determine that it's actually going to be useful? Like, how do you know that used equipment is actually good?
Well, you always do your research. Like all I do is like even for the new equipment, new or old, like I always research and I always like dig around, see what people saying about it. Cause like everything now with internet is over there. Like there's nothing that you can't find. So like I try to do my best, cause like there is like new stuff, but there's also like stuff that like you can make yourself that will do the job. It would not do the best of a job, but will do the job. And that was like my philosophy, like in life in general. Like do this until like you get the real thing. And that's been the thing. Like I worked with the 25 bucks the flash type, the cheapest, and now I have like a $400 flash. And the difference is not that much, but like I make them work like for me like the best. But like when I had the $25 flash, like it didn't limit me like so much. Like yes, it does limit you in some ways, but it doesn't limit you in so many ways that like you don't have it at all. So you start somewhere. So me learning with that $25 flash, when I had the $300 $400 flash, like it just becomes easy to just I already understand light. All I need to focus now is on the settings of this thing and whatever, and like you just it becomes like so easy. So for me, like if I waited that whole time until I get like that right equipment for it, like I might have not learned at all. I might have just like been stuck on I just don't have. But for me it's really important to just do something so you can at least start somewhere, better than like wait for that one thing to like be there for you to just like start and kick it, because that sometimes besides stopping you and blocking you, just gonna steal so much time from you. And the most important thing is that we have fun with our craft and what we're creating. So I think yeah, like it doesn't matter if it's cheap, expensive, used, like if it works for you it works. And now that like I'm working with other, like that's what makes me buy more like stuff that I need, because like if I'm going working for other like events or for other like I don't know companies and like getting serious with it, then it's right time, because like I'm actually getting paid to buy that equipment. But like before that, or even right now, it's not like enough for me to just go and I don't know like break my bank over something that like I can't handle, and I don't get paid for it still yet. So like I feel like it's important to go and take it step by step until like you get there, until like you feel like okay, I'm comfortable to have this, because it's all gonna give you is comfort, and it's gonna maybe make you look professional, because people not gonna like to see you with your crappy stuff. But like if you have good stuff, they're gonna give you respect. But that's just how the world works. But anyway, so I feel like what's important is to start somewhere. and learn with what you have until you get what you can, or what like will make it easy for you.
Hamza, what did you do professionally before you started dancing and doing videography, creative direction, and photography? What were you doing before that?
Like, what you mean before that? Like,
Professionally, like what did you do for work
I was
before
in
you?
school. I mean, I was in school, and that whole time I was in school, I was like, it started in high school. When I was in high school, like that whole time, I started breaking and going to school, and then I went to college. And then when I went to college, I was like, I don't know, it got like really stressful with the money situation and stuff. So like I was like teaching some classes and stuff, and dancing classes, but back home that stuff is not really like paying. Sometimes, especially in my city, it's not like Meknes, it's not like really that lively. So like you will have like one studio or like something like that, so it was not enough. So I was just like focusing on school and like whatever gigs I got from like breaking, and like the competitions also that like were going around, they're also like not paying out, like the prizes are not like nothing, but like you still do it. So it was just like a little thing here and there, and you're just like trying to like get it. But like I after I finished my degree, I was like doing like I was doing English literature, and then I started teaching an American school back home, like an elementary school, and it was fun. Like I enjoyed the process of like teaching kids, and just like because like I'm always learning, like you teach but like you're always learning. It was just like learning more about myself, and like being patient and understanding and all that. So but like later on I found just like that world like it's not like speaking to me more, and it was taking me more from my dancing world and all that. So but like you can't do anything, you have to work so you can keep your art live, like so you can make your art like I don't know, like so you can keep dancing literally. And then like I did a year of teaching. After that, I did a year like in a insurance company. Then I was like, you know what, this is not gonna work for me. I would like to just be fully like a creative. And then like I start like doing performances and stuff. And yeah, like as I told you, like 2020 hit, and then I was like, it's time to like find another tool to like create with and move with, because like there was no performances, there was no like anything going on, even like in the US, like when in 2028. So like I couldn't do much. And also like back home I also made events, like I with my crew we used to make events, and I used to MC too, like so that was also like a source kind of income. Like I became like kind of like a good MC, and that's also started with us making events and not having an MC, and we can't pay for MC, we hardly pay for judges, and events are only for our community. So I stepped in and became the MC, and all of a sudden I became the national MC for like all events and hip hop battles and stuff. So that was fun too. So I would like go in my little job, like insurance job, and then like I go back to practice, and then on the weekend I go host events and stuff. So it was like a combination between all like the stuff, but like just for me to survive. But when I moved here, I decided to just like I don't know, like for school, I started doing IT and all that, like, and I just it just like again, like it didn't do it with me. So like I was like again, I should move forward. And dancing 2020, nobody was working, all the artists were like in deep hole, to be honest. Everybody was like struggling, so like it was time to go back and find a normal job, but like also kick it and do your thing and keep like adding to your like basket, like what can I do to keep my creativity alive. And the closest thing was, you know what, like nobody will stop me from just filming myself and creating, because even knowing people in the city, like I didn't know anybody like that. I came like 3 days in the US. I came to WBL. Like I had somebody, a friend of mine, who like brought me to WBL, and I was happy to meet like people break 3 days in the US. But that like it was because of COVID. So like I literally was isolated, and I just had to give it like make it for myself, with myself, and just do something. And then after doing it with myself, as I told you, it turned to make me meet other artists, because I post my stuff and people see it, and then it's just turn to a whole new thing where, I'm helping other people, like bringing their vision to life or creating with them and like working on my vision too.
I'm curious, how supportive has your family been of your decision to pursue creativity as your primary career?
Oh, so they kind of don't know most about it. They were so like against breaking, like just like dancing in general. Like there is no man that just dance on the street like back home. If you do that, like it needs to be like a folklore. Like you need to do something traditional, and then like you need to be this and that. But like it's like weird for them to just like see somebody who just like kicking it to like funk and hip hop music and the street, and they're like, what is this like? So like I kept it like away from my family for so long, but like they start seeing my stuff on sometimes on the TV, sometimes like they see like I don't know, like from the events that happens in the city, they hear from the neighbors that like they saw me competing in like the big stage whatever. So like they start like hearing about that, and like the they didn't like it in the beginning, but like they got used to it because I left them no choice, to be honest, but like to accept it. Because the first problem I had is with my grandma, because like I come back late every night and she just don't get it. But for me, like I finish school at 5 or 6, go home at 7 to midnight. That's all practice time. Like there is no, I don't know, because like we just practice on the street. Nobody's gonna close the street, and like all the people get there. Like the people who were there, also they were older than me. Like I was like 15, 16. They were like some of them they were 25, 30. Like you get all ages, and people that's with their time. And they finish work and stuff. That's when they get down and they go back. Because like breaking back home, if you do it for yourself. There is no that's in it. Let's just frame it well. That's in a time, but right now it's different. Now we have more of like things happening and going on, so like it's a little different. But before, if you do breaking, you do it for yourself, and you just got to keep it for yourself. So that was something, to be honest, to struggle with, because like I can tell them like why I come back late every night. And when it became clear, it became more of a problem too, because like my grandma be like, well, only thieves go back or go like at this time of night, and they come back only at this time of night. Why would I'm like, I promise you, if you only come see what I do, you will know just like I don't get it and I'm not with it. And they were just like scared that I'm gonna just like drop school and not do anything. But I was actually just doing great at school. At school was never a problem. Like I enjoyed it. Like I enjoyed like whatever I did in school, but like I enjoyed more my creative lifestyle and my creative, like my just like my me myself as an artist is different than me myself as like trying to fit in. And that was hard, but like lately they're convinced. They've been like the 2018, 19, they start seeing me like, as I told you, in TV and stuff. So they start to know that this is serious, this is maybe something. And if he's like doing school and doing his thing, what we can tell him and stuff. So like they just like let me be. And right now like they know that like they've seen my camera and they've seen my stuff, but I'm not telling them like I'm actually like creating. I'm like all what I've been like talking about, like I still didn't express it to them. They don't know like still that their kid is like a creative director or photographer or whatever. All of that, maybe like now they know he's a dancer, but all that, it's gonna take some time to just let them discover it.
That's what's up, Hamza. I got one last question for you, which is, if we were doing this interview 10 years from now, what are the things that you will have accomplished? So what, like, where do you see yourself a decade from right now?
uh to be honest, I wanna just be living off of my art and my ideas and my creativity. Like I would love to just keep this creativity alive, because like it keeps me like in the present. It keeps me uh just like I don't know like what to say, but like I can't see myself without it in the future. And like for me, the best thing I can have is being creative to the fullest, and then not worrying about my life and how much money I have in my bank account. Because like I'm not looking for being rich, but I am looking for being stable and able to bring like something new to the world, like just new art and create new things for myself and with other people. So I hope like from 10 years from now, I'm a really dope creative director, and I already made minimum of like 2 films that I'm really proud of. And then I have a series of like pictures that like can just represent my style and me. Yeah. Also stay dancing, to be honest. Like I would love to be a breaker all that time. It would be hard to be a breaker all these years, but like I would love to 10 years from now. So get down.
And that's what's up. Hamza, I want to thank you so much for making time to come through and share some of your journey. Hopefully, some of the folks that are watching and will watch later will follow you on Instagram to keep up with the content you're creating. And we look forward to working with you or continuing to work with you here at Words, Beats, and Life.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you for having me.
Not a problem.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. So that's the end of our second interview for today. Big ups to Hamza for joining us for this conversation. The whole point of this series of conversations is to learn how do people get to where they are, and what are the things they learned along the way that they could share with other people to be able to motivate young folks who might be thinking about pursuing careers as a creative to know some of how it is that it could be done. It's not about just necessarily a roadmap or a blueprint, but just a set of examples. So hopefully if there's a young person in your life who's thinking about pursuing a career as a creative director or as a photographer or as a filmmaker or even as a dancer, the journey of Hamza becomes one example to be able to show you how it is that it can be done. Tomorrow, I'm going to be on here at 12 noon with someone who is a professional PR specialist. So if you're interested in this whole process of telling stories through media, one way to do it is like Hamza described, making films or creating photos. But another is telling stories that the media gets excited about so that it gets picked up by larger publications or websites, et cetera. So we're going to have a PR specialist here tomorrow to talk about the work of her firm, how it is she got into this work. Her name is Mercy, by the way. So please tune in tomorrow. Mercy's going to be a great interview. And yeah, if you're interested, don't forget that video at the beginning about enrolling in the Academy. You can visit wblinc.org/academy to get more information. Peace, y'all.